How is everybody doing today on the Wrestling Takeover podcast? I am going to do more of a deep dive into WrestleMania 43. The lack of enthusiasm, I would say, with the hype heading into WrestleMania 43. I'm going to be reacting to what Dave Meltzer talked about in a clip regarding WrestleMania. Let's get into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Welcome to...
You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always going to keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear. He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready? He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
Yo. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. This is the most realist, most honest, most creative, most passionate, most knowledgeable WWE wrestling podcast in the space. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm your host, Jordan Turner, and we are going to continue to talk about WrestleMania 42. We are going to continue to bring up this discussion because it's so funny. There is so many twists and turns, news and rumors, innuendos, and most importantly, speculation. I was scrolling on Twitter. If y'all want to follow me on Twitter, I would really appreciate it. All right. I'm at JT Takeover. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I am at the Wrestling Takeover. But speaking of Twitter, I was on Twitter scrolling, doing my usual thing, and I came past this audio clip from Dave Meltzer, which I will be playing, and this is the chunk of the discussion that we are going to be talking about today. And I didn't play it, so this is actually going to be the first time that I played it. I wanted to save it because one of my homies was like, yo, you should do a pod about this. I know y'all talked about, or I know you talked about WrestleMania and your fantasy booking and all that other stuff, but talk about this, some curious information, from Dave Meltzer. Like I always say, when it comes to Dave Meltzer, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, right? So he told me to react to this, which I have it right here. I'm going to react to it. I'm going to give my opinion on it. And then I want to just talk to you guys about what the fuck is going on with WrestleMania. There is a lot of bullshit going around. Quite frankly, it seems like WWE does not know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. They don't know what matches should be taking place, what title matches should be taking place. We don't know what is going on. All right, I'm going to talk about Bianca Belair. I'm going to talk about Jade Cargill. I'm going to talk about all of it, all right? And we're going to do it right here on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. So sit back, enjoy, put your headphones in, put your AirPods in, grab yourself some wine like I do right now. I literally have one in my hand right now, and I'm chilling with y'all, man. Like I said, we always try to keep it honest. We try to keep it P, with our views and opinions in and around the WWE, inside and outside the ring coverage on all things WWE. We try to keep it respectful. All right, but we always want to be honest. Always want to be honest. Let's take a look at what Dave Meltzer had to say. I'm going to react to it. And then, like I said, towards the end of the pod, I'm going to be talking about what the hell is going on with WrestleMania. Because, like I said, it seems like there's a lot of shit going on. Not a lot of it makes sense. Some of the matches that will be thrown around right now, I'm not really liking. But we're going to get into Dave Meltzer right now. And let's get into it.
For the Rumble, they had a complete card for WrestleMania. I was told that everything is up in the air. Essentially, the way it was described to me is, and this makes no sense, but this is how I was told, is that they're very disappointed with the advance. It's down about 18% from last year at the same time. I think they'll still fill it, but
let me stop. The reason why they are disappointed with the numbers, right? And this just proves that WWE, TKO are about the numbers. We've been knowing this. But for them to say that they're disappointed with the numbers is pretty crazy. And it's kind of funny. Why are you going to the same spot? Why are you going to the same spot? Especially when the ticket prices might be even more expensive than when they were last year. I don't think WWE is taking that into consideration. Just from my personal opinion, all right? I don't know anything. I'm just talking my opinion. I just think that the WWE fans, right, the WWE consumer, are looking at multiple avenues right now. Number one, the ticket sales. They're either bigger or they're still the same. So that's a big detriment. You know what I mean? Number two, the product. The WWE product right now, respectfully, but I'm going to be honest, is shit right now. Is shit. Okay? There is a lot of confusion. There are people that are not on TV that should be on TV, that should have roles at WrestleMania, and they don't. And I might say something right now that people are going to really look back on it after listening to this and say, you know what, Jordan actually made some sense. This was the same problem last year, and this was the same problem heading into WrestleMania 40. There were matches that were put in place, and I understand people got hurt. We'll get into the Braun Breaker thing a little later on in the show. But people get hurt, so plans change. But not just that. You know what I mean? Not just that. Okay? WWE, they come up with something, and then they'd be like, you know what? Let's change our minds. Let's do this. You know, rather just sticking to your plan, which was the best plan, and plan B or plan C is worse than plan A. I mean, if you're coming up with something, stick to it. If they get hurt, that's when you got to come up with plan Bs and plan Cs. But plan B and plan C has got to make sense. You feel me? What if this person got hurt? The person that was originally supposed to face the person that got hurt, who does he have beef with? And that's when B and C come in. Who does she have beef with? That's when plan B and plan C come into play. It all makes sense at the end of the day if you are creative, if you're knowledgeable about it and fully aware of your surroundings and what's going on with the creative process of the WWE. WWE right now seems like they're all over the place. And I'm just being real with you guys. This is just my opinion. You guys might think I'm incorrect on that, and that's totally fine. But this is my opinion. Okay? Let's continue with what Dave Meltzer had to say.
You know, they are disappointed. The problem is that they think that changing a card that nobody knows, because literally people only know one match. So changing.
And that is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. You know what? I'm just gonna talk about it as I go with this clip. I'm just gonna talk about it as I go. I don't want to save it because I'm itching to really talk about it. I'm gonna play the rest of the clip, but there are some things that I just want to talk about. For example, number one, and I seen a report on it, and I seen a rumor on it. I think I have it here. Let me check. If not, I already, I already know what's going on with it. Okay. So WWE announced last night, right? On Monday Night Raw. They announced that AJ Lee is going to go one-on-one with Becky Lynch for the women's intercontinental title. So I was at work today, and I seen that scrolling on social media, right? And I seen that and I'm like, yo, what? Like, what's going on? Right? I couldn't get to Monday Night Raw. I had stuff to do, so I couldn't get to it. So I seen it and I'm like, this was my immediate reaction. Okay. This was my immediate reaction to hearing that news. What the fuck WWE doing? That was my immediate reaction to it. What the fuck is WWE doing? Why are you not saving this for WrestleMania? But my creativity, my mental, my creativity came into play. So I switched it from, all right, being a fan and being, critical about it to switching it to being, all right, creative. Okay, they announced their first match at Chamber. All right, Becky Lynch needs to win. Becky Lynch needs to cheat to defeat AJ Lee. And we're going to get that part 2 at WrestleMania. And rumors I seen earlier on in the day today that is actually the plan. That the plan right now is to do match 1 at Chamber and match 2 at WrestleMania. Because before Roman Reigns and CM Punk was announced, honest to God, the only match that really was confirmed, not confirmed, but if you follow along on WWE TV, you would see that the plan was originally going to be AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Women's Intercontinental title. And I know Maxine Dupree, God bless her, I know she won, the title and everything like that. And people were thinking, oh, maybe she might take it into WrestleMania. Not everyone thought that, but there were some that I seen throughout the wrestling community that was talking about that. And I'm thinking, while reading these stuff, I'm like, oh, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. That's not going to happen. And that's respect to Maxine. All due respect. But that was not going to happen. The plan was always to do AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Women's Intercontinental title. That was always the plan. How do I know that? Just follow along. AJ Lee hasn't been appearing quite often. She appeared now, but before she wasn't appearing. They were doing mini feuds for Becky Lynch, Natalya, Maxine Dupree, Lyra Valkyria. And I love Lyra Valkyria. But they were, putting Becky Lynch in these feuds to kind of carry. And as we get close to WrestleMania, then we get AJ Lee coming back. Like I said, I thought they were going to do a Royal Rumble spot where AJ Lee was the one to eliminate Becky Lynch, but that went to Natalya. Maybe because AJ Lee didn't want to go there. That's not my business. But that's just my immediate speculation on that. But we're getting Becky Lynch and AJ Lee at Chamber. That's going to be part 1. And part 2, undoubtedly, is going to be at WrestleMania. So part 1, WWE, it's not that hard. Becky Lynch just needs to cheat to win. The referee doesn't see the, Becky Lynch might roll up AJ Lee and grab the rope. And the referee might not see that. And as AJ Lee is complaining to the referee, maybe on Monday Night Raw, Jessica Carr, or whoever's the referee in that match, AJ Lee brings them to Adam Pearce and like, yo, look at this. Becky Lynch cheated. All right, bet you're going to get your rematch at WrestleMania. I mean, I'm just a wrestling fan. I'm just a wrestling fan, WWE fan who loves to be creative with what I watch. Like, oh, what if I would have done this? And instead of doing it like that, maybe I would have done it like this. It's just a fun thing. It's a fun little thing, but it makes sense. It's something that WWE definitely needs to do. And hopefully we get part 2 at WrestleMania. Let's continue, though.
The card, it's not like if they have a bad card out there and people aren't buying tickets. If that was the case, yeah, sure. Think about changing the card. They don't have a card out there. So there's been a lot of internal criticism of Paul Levesque as far as like not keeping, they keep changing the plans essentially. Like Vince, but just they have a plan and then they changed the plan, and right now everything is up in the air.
These prices are crazy. It's one thing if there were 20,000 seats and it's a hot ticket.
Here
You're
we
trying
go.
to sell, what, 50, 60,000 seats for 2 straight
50.
nights?
50,
And you're
50's
charging
50's
these
about-
crazy prices to get in? I mean, at some point, they'll probably lower the prices. But,
Yeah.
you know, people have to make plans to travel.
That's the
and
thing.
they're
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. From a TKO perspective, yo, TKO, you're going to have to really, nah, not really. Nah, fuck all that. Y'all going to have to lower your prices, bro, because we are in a crazy economy right now. People are struggling financially, bro. And I remember, I believe it was Mark Shapiro. It was somebody of TKO. I remember this vividly, bro, because they got a lot of hate on social media for this comment. They were talking about WWE isn't for families anymore. So that was a crazy thing to say. That was a crazy thing to say, bro. I'm going to end it with that, with what Brian Alvarez said. Listen. They got to lower their prices, most definitely. And it's just, it's at a time, you know what I mean, where people are giving their opinion on the product. And let's be real, okay? You can see WWE like in real time. If you pay close attention, you can see that WWE is changing plans. Like, you see it firsthand, immediately. And it's like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like WWE, like, come on now. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems that WWE doesn't have a plan in what they're doing outside of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Now, I seen this today, just like everybody else did, and this sucks. So there is growing belief within WWE that Braun Breaker will not be back in time for WrestleMania 42, as he is expected to remain out of action for a while. This was with the hernia, and he fucked it up. This fucking sucks. I'm hearing things all over the place that if Braun Breaker isn't going to make it, just have Seth Rollins miss a WrestleMania. Woo-de-woo. Like, no. He's not. No. Especially if he's healthy and he's going to come back in time. He needs to be at WrestleMania. Now, here is where things get dicey and where things get confusing. Who does he face at WrestleMania? I love Bronson Reed. I do. But I don't want to see that. That's not a WrestleMania match. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, I would not mind that. But we've seen it already at WrestleMania. It was at WrestleMania 39. They put on a clinic. The match was incredible. But I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins. I am not interested in that. So when it comes to Seth Rollins, it's really, really tough. Because who else does he have beef with? Who else does he have beef with? That makes sense for him to go one-on-one against. I don't have anybody. Like, real talk, I don't. I don't know who else he can face. I just don't know. And I think WWE doesn't know either. So that match is up in the air. AJ Lee and Becky Lynch hopefully takes place. Bianca Belair. We need a... All right, this really sucked. So there was rumors today regarding Bianca Belair. She's very much missed on WWE TV. Everybody on social media is crying out that they miss her. I miss her. She is thoroughly missed on television. Man, I miss B, man. I really, really do. She's just a great talent, a phenomenal generational talent. And her impact is thoroughly missed on television. Like, you can feel it. You can really feel it on Friday Night SmackDown. But A source indicated to bodyslam.net that Bianca Belair is currently on a list internally with a tag that has no return date, designed but confirmed self-made report that WWE believes she will be involved at WrestleMania in some fashion. So that might not be a match at all, but she might be appearing. That still bums me out because I want Bianca Belair to go one-on-one with Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship and beat Jade Cargill. Another source indicated to bodyslam.net that the rehab and recovery process for Bianca Belair has been rough, and they have never seen anything like it. Yeah, reading that really sucked. There have been a lot of complications, but Belair is said to have kept a positive mindset throughout this entire ordeal. And when that report came out, everybody was just upset. Like, fuck, man. Like, is it just the finger? Is it the hand? Like, it's concerning. It really is concerning. Bianca Belair really might miss WrestleMania. I'm not trying to see not Trish Stratus. Tiffany Stratton. Excuse me. I'm not trying to see Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill again. I'm not trying to see that. What if, I'm just throwing this out there like I did in my WrestleMania video. If you guys missed it, check it out. It's on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. youtube.com/JTTakeover. Press that subscribe button. Turn on all notifications so you guys don't miss any upcoming videos. But on my WrestleMania talk conversation, I was like, all right, if Bianca Belair ain't going to appear, what about we get Jade Cargill versus Jordynne Grace versus Tiffany Stratton in a triple threat match? I know that is not appealing at all, but you got to come up with something. You got to come up with something. And Jordynne Grace has beef with Jade Cargill, and Tiffany Stratton obviously has beef with Jade Cargill. So it's something to really monitor. It's something to really keep your eyes open for when it comes to Bianca Belair, man, because if she's not ready, WWE needs to do something. And if she is ready, WWE needs to do something. But my fear, sadly, I don't really think she's going to make it. I don't think she's going to have a match at WrestleMania. I think she'll have a part. I just don't think she's going to have a match. I hope I'm wrong because Bianca Belair is sorely missed on WWE TV. So Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins is up in the air. Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill is up in the air. Not saying that was always the plan, but let's be real. That was always the plan. That's up in the air now. Roman Reigns and CM Punk looks like the only match that's really confirmed. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee is going to be another one eventually, with part 2 happening at WrestleMania. You know, the WWE Championship, like I said, there's rumors going around that we're going to get a triple threat at WrestleMania between Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, who is the champion, and Cody Rhodes. I will be putting out a Cody Rhodes video this week, so stay tuned for that. The triple threat match, that's not a WrestleMania match to me. I'm going to keep it P. That's just my opinion, but that's not a WrestleMania match. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. It might be a WrestleMania match to some people. It might be you that's listening. God bless you. That's fine, but not for me. It's pretty crazy that Randy Orton doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. I would personally do a fatal 4-way because they're not doing Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That's not happening. You're not going to take the title off of Drew McIntyre already and not have plans for him. Maybe they do. I don't know. WWE might do that. Knowing them. I don't know. But then again, you can't do that because what's Jacob Fatu going to do? So I'm saying you got to think a thing. You feel me? You can't just spew shit. I want to see Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, but I just don't think that's going to happen at WrestleMania. I would love if Randy Orton is added to this because what is Randy Orton going to do at WrestleMania? It's so sad, honestly, the way WWE has utilized Randy Orton. They're not making this man a priority, and it's really disgusting. It's really disgusting. I don't know what they're doing with Randy Orton, but it just, I know you want to create new stars. I understand that. I've been saying that. I've been preaching that gospel. I have been preaching that gospel for a minute now. But you need to have some plans for Randy Orton to WrestleMania. Something that's substantial. I know I overheard somebody say Speed versus Randy Orton. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Come on, bro. Hey, man, Bad Bunny breaking records at the Super Bowl. Shout out to Bad Bunny, man. Shout out to Bad Bunny and the culture. I wouldn't mind Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind that. But Randy Orton, going back to him, I really don't know what he's going to do if he's not added to the WWE Championship match. He's got beef with Drew. He's got beef with Jacob Fatu. Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu. He's got beef with both. And he has a history with Cody Rhodes. It makes sense. They need to do the Fatal 4-Way. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu. If they do that, you know where you heard it, right here on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. But they need to add Randy Orton to it. It makes all the sense in the world. Because if you don't do it, what else is he going to do? I don't want to see LA Knight versus Randy Orton. I'm not interested in seeing that at all. Speaking of LA Knight, speaking of Devil, what is he going to do at WrestleMania? Maybe you put him in the United States Championship picture. I wouldn't do that because I would do Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams for the United States title. I don't know. I really don't know. And Randy Orton's on SmackDown, so LA Knight's on Raw. Maybe he can go after the IC title, but then again, you don't want to do that because we got Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. That needs to be the plan, along with Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. Those need to be the two mid-card title matches at WrestleMania. I don't want to respectfully, I don't want to hear it. The U.S. title, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. The Intercontinental title, Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. It makes sense. The women's tag team titles, it looks like people, it's so funny. People are really pushing for Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind that, but you need those titles to be defended. You need those titles to be defended somehow. I don't know. There's just a lot going on with WrestleMania right now. There's a lot of confusion. I feel like confusion is the best word to describe what's going on with WrestleMania. But let me know in the comments what y'all thought about this video. Let me know in the comments what matches you would like to see. If you were a booker, if you were in Triple H's position, what matches would you want to do for WrestleMania 42? Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate all the love and support, man. Blessings to each and every one of y'all, man. I think y'all joining me right here on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. This is the most creative and honest podcast in the space. Let's get it. You're